Hi, welcome back to Book Chats with Mostly Books. Heads up, we will not be able to read comments during the video. We had a slight hiccup and it's no one's filming us. So we will respond to comments afterwards.
Yeah.
So please still comment. We are happy to do that. It just won't be instant.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we are talking about the City of Brass. Oh, I didn't introduce.
Yeah, who are you?
Right. I'm Jody.
I'm Jen.
All right. Okay, we've done that. So today we're talking about City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is her first book, and I thought, wow, this was a really, really well done first, high fantasy novel. I was quite impressed. It's complicated. There's lots of going on. Her magical system is well developed. Very impressive. Do you want to tell us, Jen, what it's about?
I will try to do my best to tell you what it's about. So naughty.
We're apologizing in advance.
We're doing our best.
We're gonna really try to get these names correct. So don't hold it against us if we say it wrong. We're really trying.
We do our best, but it might not be that good.
Right.
So Naughty is a con artist in Napoleonic Cairo, and she's a grifter, picking pockets, living from mark to mark, and then she accidentally summons a djinn.
Right. It's totally normal.
As one does when you're pretending to, I don't know, do things.
It's pretending to maybe be normal when maybe you're not normal.
Yeah, and she has these other abilities, she heals really easily, and she can heal other people, or she can feel people's heartbeats. So there's things going on, but she's like, yeah, I don't believe in magic.
Yeah.
Then she summons a djinn and is kind of forced to believe in magic, and her and the djinn, Dara, end up traveling to Daevabad, which is the magical city. How do you want to describe Daevabad?
I think magical city is a great way. It's
the city of
behind a
brass.
veil, so you have to be of a certain gifted person or blood lineage to end up into this very magical city, which is kind of it was quite a ways from Cairo. They walked a long ways.
It has a whole history, and it's tied up in the politics, which we're going to get into when we talk about the politics. But so then she gets there, and she has to and she's finding out that magic is very real, and it's very real to her life, and she has to navigate her way through politics and all the power plays in the city, and it's not easy.
It's definitely not easy. And then we meet the whole royal family in there too, and Ali specifically, the youngest son, and it's complicated for him as well.
He's one of our point of view characters. So Nari and Ali are our point of view characters.
Yes.
So we get an outsider's perspective on the city, but also one of the insiders.
Although I think Ali is not the best insider.
No, but he's an outsider in the insiders a little bit.
I felt like he was just a very sheltered prince. A very young, sheltered prince who doesn't really know all of the complicated things that are going on behind the scenes.
And people keep telling him that. They're like, you, this is all you've ever known. Or you're young. And then he just kind of gets a little carried away with himself. He gets a little in over his head. They all get a little in over their heads.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do. All of them. Okay, so I guess the question is, where do we want to start diving in? Do you want to talk about your first impressions of Nari?
Oh yeah, I really liked her as a point of view character, and as I was till about halfway into the book, I liked her more than Ali.
Yes.
Because I felt she was more interesting, and I was like, you're just a privileged prince, you need to pull the wool off from your eyes or whatever the saying goes. So I really liked her point of view, and she's really smart, and especially street smart, and how she reads people. So she was always a fun protagonist to follow around.
I liked her as well. I didn't have your issues with Ali, but I kind of was whatever, you're just a privileged little prince, you said.
I did warm up to him, though.
Yeah, he comes a long ways, and he has really good intentions.
Yeah, he does.
And he does want the best for his city. He's just not sure how to really achieve that.
Yeah, especially, this is going to be a sidetrack into politics. So there's a lot of stuff that's been covered up about how the city works, or how people got power. So then it's like, oh, this was true, or you thought this was how it works, but this is not how it works.
Right, there was definitely a lot of, well, this is how you thought it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of like revisionist history depending on which character is talking at the moment.
Yeah. Let's talk about the djinn. Let's talk about Dara. What'd you think of him?
Dara? He's kind of an idiot.
Oh.
I got this as I was like getting later in the book. Like he always is like pushing people's buttons when he doesn't need to. And I'm like, sir, can you like please chill for like 2 seconds?
Okay, now in his defense,
yeah,
he had been out of commission for like centuries.
That's one way to put it.
Right? So I kind of feel like in some ways he has a lot of grudges, and he is ready to make those known.
But he also has moments where he's like very smart, where he like reads like when he and Ollie are sparring. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers if you haven't noticed.
Spoilers.
Lots of spoilers. When he's like, oh, so your brother's marrying Naughty, and Ollie's like, what? No, wait, how'd you find that out? And he's like, oh, you just told me.
Right, yeah, so, he's not good at. But I think that was a good characteristic of Dara, and more of a, oh, Ollie, you've got to get better at these games if you are going to become an advisor to the king.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to really step up your poker face.
Yeah, because characters always tell him he's a bad liar, too.
Yeah, he was. I'll agree with that. But you didn't like that in Dara?
Well, I didn't. It's not that I disliked it. It's just like I'd be reading it and I'd be like a little bit of secondhand embarrassment of like, oh no,
yeah,
like, why'd you do that? Or like, stop! You're just gonna make this so much more difficult for yourself. But I think then as the plot went on, a lot of my problems. I don't want to call them problems because I did like him as a character, but like Nari's problems were like he wouldn't tell her anything.
Yeah.
And it was always like, oh, I'll tell you later, or like I'm doing this for your own good, or how she describes his advice as being like, well, or like pragmatic but condescending.
Yes. Yeah.
And how that just like was what I like was picking up a lot on, especially like later in the book, and I was like, okay, like the mystique has kind of worn off.
Right? Because initially, like, you meet him and he's like this great, handsome thing out in the desert.
Yep.
And saves
he's
her.
He's quite literally hot.
Yeah, yeah. And then that mystique wears away. I agree with that. And I did get annoyed with how much he wanted to protect her. Like, at some point you have to say, okay, let's have her in on this. It's much better.
Yeah, especially when he's like, we're going to the city where I'm probably going to be, or I'm definitely going to be arrested.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe executed.
Probably executed.
And
come on, I'll take ya.
Yeah, I'll take you. But then they get there and plot happens. And then she kind of has like the upper hand, but then he's still like, oh wait, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. I need to protect you. And I'm like,
do you?
Do you?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about like the twist with him that we figured out? That wasn't like explicitly said, but like kind of explicitly said.
I feel like we should as well. But before we get to any really, really big spoilers, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Or do we just want to say spoilers from here on?
The political system's really complicated in this book. And I say complicated in like a good way.
Yes. I liked it.
I don't want to say it's like Game of Thrones because I haven't read all the books. But there's a lot going on and there's a lot of different like players involved.
Well, I feel like it's like any kingdom political thing. You have your king who is going to manipulate all of his pawns, and you have his advisors who are going to try to appease certain people for their better good. I mean, it's very much everyone has their own agenda. They're all out for themselves kind of story, I thought.
And there's like you can root for the different characters because they have causes that they're working for. Because you also get like class dynamics within the tribes, and then if they're like a pure blood or like Shaffets or like half blood, so they have some magical blood but not all, but they're also part human.
But they have like no rights as a citizen.
They aren't allowed to like carry weapons. They aren't allowed access to medical care. So you don't want these characters to suffer like that. So the ones that root for them, you want to like support them, but then you also see how they're like manipulating people and public opinion around what they want, and you're like, that's a little underhanded. But do we go with it?
And then sometimes it was like, so you think they're just totally evil and bad, and then you find out, oh, but they're really actually trying to help the people. So it works both ways. So it was complicated in a good way.
Yeah, complicated in a good way.
Okay, I feel at this point we should say spoilers from here
very
on.
big spoilers.
So check back in 10.
Yeah.
Okay, with that in mind, what was the Dara thing?
Yeah, that he's not free.
Yeah, no.
No.
But I mean, knowing he's a djinn, were you surprised that he's not free?
I don't. Well, like it. Before we got to that part, like, the magic system was complicated and he didn't remember chunks of his memory, so there was, like, already holes, and, like, how Naughty, like, summoned him without really knowing what she was doing.
Right.
I was like, okay, there's some, who knows what kind of magic is, like, going on here. And then they talk about hexes in the book where people end up with feathers, so who knows?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was funny. My bad.
So I just kind of put that down to more of my not having all the details of the magic system yet, since we're in book 1. And then it's like, oh no, he's not free at all. He's been enslaved this whole time.
So I wasn't surprised because I thought this is sort of an Aladdin retelling. So of course your genie's in prison. It didn't make it any less heartbreaking. And for the centuries of his imprisonment,
14.
Yeah,
or more.
That's a long time.
I had to reread it because it said 14 centuries, and I read it as 1400 years or something, and I was like, oh wait, 1400 years is not that long, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
When you really think about it,
14 centuries.
Yeah, and he's had to do terrible things, and because of that, I mean, he's got such a bad name, which it's like, can you really blame the guy that had to do it? I mean, he wasn't the one who commanded those things. He was the one that had to carry them out.
That also confused me at points too, because we get those narratives from multiple characters with different agendas.
Yes, we did.
So I feel like I need to get a whiteboard out and chart everything and
I love that.
And sort it all out.
Please take a photo for us if you do.
When in quarantine.
Right. This is how you spend your time.
Yes.
And do you want to talk about the seal?
Do you?
Yeah, I feel that we should.
Okay.
Don't you think we should?
Well, it's related.
Okay. I don't know which one to talk about it with necessarily.
Are you talking about the seal, his relic, or Suleiman's seal?
I was going to talk about Suleiman's seal.
Okay.
Although we could talk about the relic, because it is related, especially to the end of the book.
Because they talk about seals, and the djinn have seals and vessels, and they...
Which keep them imprisoned.
Yeah, and the Nahids, combine them and make a new body.
Right. Right, and the Nahids have the magical power to do that.
Yeah, because they're healers, and I guess making a new body is healing.
Totally healing.
On steroids. Yeah.
Times 3. So, yes, because that comes up very late in the end of the book, and how he gets freed.
No, he's just dead at the end of the book.
Do you think he's dead?
Well, he's like Marvel dead.
Okay, well that's fair. See,
he's not freed yet.
Because he's been around for 14 centuries, I'm in denial that he's dead.
Well, he's already died once.
Which means he can come back.
Yeah.
Like Marvel, yes. I actually, when I read that, I initially thought, oh my gosh, he's free. Because that severed all of his seals. All the things that keep him tied down. So that was my initial thought. I didn't initially think he was dead until I closed the book, and then I was like, wait. wait. What happened?
We see him crumble to ash.
I feel like he's a phoenix. He's gonna come back.
He doesn't have a good time with birds, though.
Yeah, I know. But this is it. This is his comeback.
So
freedom.
I feel like he's definitely gonna show up in book 2.
Oh, you think so then? See, then you don't think you just think he's, like you said, Marvel dead.
Yeah, because I think that, or if he's really dead, which I don't think he is, that his legacy is going to play a big part in book 2.
Right, so we'll still hear something about him.
Yeah, so I don't think we're done hearing about him. I don't think he's dead either, because I don't think his vengeance is dealt with.
Oh gosh, no. He has so much unfinished business.
Yeah.
Regardless, I guess, of who, like you say, finishes that business, because maybe Narhi
Naughty.
Yes, we'll take it up.
Naughty.
Or something.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about her at the end and her big discovery?
Do you want to talk about... Well, if we're going to go on the seal, do you want to talk about
sure.
Ollie and the seal?
Sure. What do you want to say about that?
How he gets possessed by the lake?
Yeah, that was crazy sauce. The
Oh my
Madrid,
gosh.
no.
Marid.
Marid.
You know.
Confuse the T's and the R's. What else? Yeah, okay, that was crazy. So he falls into the water and gets possessed.
Yeah, so the lake is cursed.
And what do you do with the cursed lake? You fall in it.
You avoid it
Oh.
until you get shot in the throat by an arrow and
forced
fall
into it.
overboard.
Fine. Go that route.
So yeah, it's this big fight scene with like all our main characters
All of them. Mm-hmm.
on a boat, and he gets shot and he falls over, and they're like, he's dead,
Yeah.
or he's gonna get torn to bits. And then like the Davy Jones version of him, it's not the ocean, it's a lake. The lake monster version of him like comes back on board, and he has Suleiman's seal like on his face. That was creepy.
That was creepy. That actually the whole him coming back part was weird. See him? Initially I was like, okay, maybe this is the end of Ali. See how funny? I thought that there, but not Dara.
Well, I was like surprised. Well, because
But
he
then
has
he
a
came right
brother.
back.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, so like this was Ollie's book, and then we'll get like the brother more in the second book. But then he dies. Marvel dies for a bit, but then he comes back too.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if we will get more of his brother in the second book.
I hope we do.
What do you think of his brother? Sorry to digress away from the seal.
I hope we get more fleshing out of him as more than just like the Playboy Royal.
Right, which I think is a ruse. Like, I mean, yeah, he's obviously
definitely a ruse.
doing this, but he's doing this as a protective reason, I think.
I think so, but I think it's also part of his personality.
See, I think he's hiding, I don't think he's hiding, well, he is hiding some things.
They're all hiding several things.
But I feel like he's trying to protect himself so he doesn't die in this, like soul die, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, get crushed because of all these politics.
So
not,
he's only
die.
he's almost physically died, but he's not dead inside yet.
Right. And this is his protecting shield.
So he might be dead inside by the other book too.
Oh, huh. Yes, it was, okay, it's a very complicated ending. Do you want to talk more about Ollie being possessed? Because I think that's, well, obviously that's going to be big, I think, in the second book.
I think it's because it's water, and the Devas are like very like fire oriented, and then like Harry's are wind oriented.
I know, I love all the elements.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be interesting to see, and like the Gaziri, like his tribe he comes from are Earth, right?
Oh, so you think it's going to be like a combination?
Well, his mother's family is like water,
right, because his mom's not.
The Ayanale?
There's a whole thing with his mom and her tribe being the not great tribe.
Yeah,
so we
they're
don't
like
talk
very
about
like
her.
decadent, and like they swim.
They're very elitist and kind of jerks.
Yeah,
if they're tribes.
I wonder how the water is going to like play into it. And like, we're not done with this city, so he's gonna have to come back.
Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to come back. I feel like he needs to come back and claim City of Brass. Like, because he gets exiled in the end, so I feel like...
Exiled to die.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a slow death.
Yeah.
I
it's
felt.
just like,
You can't
dang.
just take him out here in the palace. No.
Yeah.
That was bad. Yeah, so I'm curious how his possession is going to play out as well, because I'm wondering if he's going to have residual magical elements, I guess, or is he still possessed?
Oh, he's still super possessed.
Right, and can he be exorcised?
Is that a thing?
I don't
in
know.
this book?
Or do you just embrace it, kind of like in X-Men and the Phoenix? Okay, no more Phoenixes. Sorry. So yeah, definitely excited for book 2. But I feel like we're not done with this yet.
No. Do you want to talk about Nadi now?
Sure.
Okay.
What specifically did you want to talk about with her? Do we want to talk about the love triangle? I know you don't think it's a love triangle.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a love triangle, because I don't think either of them are really options for her.
Oh, okay, just because they're not option does not mean they can't be love triangles.
It's triangulated.
Because I feel like both Ollie and Dara are very much into her. Now, whether she's into either, she's into Dara.
Yeah, but
She's kinda...
is he only into her because he's her slave?
But it's more than that. I don't even think it's so much that. I think it's the same. They're from the same tribe.
Yeah.
like her mom.
Yeah, well, because the Ashians were like protectors of the Nahids. So they were like a military like class or military caste.
But you
like,
think it's just that kind of loyalty?
Well, I don't know. I just don't like that he's her slave.
Well, no, I am still convinced that's going to get rectified in book 2 because I refuse to admit he's dead.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's dead either. I think he's coming back.
So I think if he does come back, he won't be a slave.
Let's hope so.
Because I think that was taken care of with the hand getting cut off.
But did they do the whole, like, this is how you free a slave ritual? Because only Nahids could do that. And
right.
Our
maybe
two
she's
Nahids
gonna do
haven't done it.
Maybe she's just going to wish his freedom, like in Aladdin.
Yeah, she's going to rub the emerald ring.
And be like, you're free. Okay, so that's fair. I can get that until they work out the freedom part.
Yeah.
And then we have to know then if his feelings then are true. Which I'm fair with that. I mean, I don't think they should do anything, but I still think there's still a triangle.
And like, the love triangle plays like really obviously into the politics of it too.
Yeah. Oh, and then do you love that then she gets told she's going to marry
the
eldest brother?
They don't like each other. Well, they don't want to marry each other. I think they tolerate each other.
Oh, I don't think they like each other at all.
I don't remember.
He doesn't like her mom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad blood there.
Yeah.
And then they're forced to marry. And then on top of it, his person.
Yeah.
Is he saved in the end? Do we know?
He's alive.
It's kind of how I feel too, like alive-ish.
Well, because like he has that tattoo that's like shielding him.
Yeah.
And like keeping his Nahid powers like under wraps.
So that's Jamshid.
Yeah.
Who was the eldest son
of the Wazir, so it's kind of
his like right-hand man.
Yeah, it's like basically.
Right. However, they have a secret thing. It's fabulous, except that it's not because it's secret.
And it's sad, and he's a good
tragic
character.
I know, I really like him.
He's like I'm not gonna say the one character because there's probably someone I'm overlooking who's just like a decent dude who doesn't deserve what happens to him.
He is a decent dude. And then, do you think? Okay, so what's his name? Jamshin has a tattoo.
Shin.
Thank you.
It's a D.
Yes, it is. I can see it in my head. Has a tattoo to protect him from not healing because he is Nahid, right?
Yeah.
So then they're scraping it off at the end
to like get him to heal himself.
Everybody is so much more than they're pretending to be.
Yeah, and like Nizreen and his father are in on it, and Nari's like not in on it.
Right, which is sort of weird since she's also from that tribe.
But she's part human too.
Yeah.
She has a little bit of human in her.
Yeah, she is.
Which we've been told she's a pureblood this whole time, but she's not.
I know. I want more of her backstory because we don't know anything about her dad.
But also, like, do we trust Ghassan, like, saying that she's part human, though? He's like, oh, I used the, like, Suleiman Seal, like, showed me that you're also part human. But if I exposed you... So he could just be blackmailing
I feel that that's
her.
fair that that's not necessarily true because I feel like everyone's kind of lying to us.
Yeah, so it's like, it could be true, but I'm also not sure, and I'm not sure I trust, like, the narrative he, like, spelled out at the end.
Yeah, I feel like everything that is said you have to take with a grain of salt because I feel like the next chapter is going to do the total opposite. And you're like, what?
I want her to hurry up and like learn how to read Devasti so she can read the Nahid texts. And I would also just like those as a book.
As a compliment.
Yes.
To the trilogy.
Yes.
Could you do that for us?
I really just want to read all the texts, all the like the, I don't even know what you would call them, all the extra texts that just go with this because the world is super fascinating.
It's a really interesting world. Like, again, I cannot believe this is her first book and this world is so detailed and developed. I didn't feel like there was anything not wasteful, but unnecessary, I guess. Everything felt important.
Yeah, or it feels like, and there's like 2 more books in the series. This is a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
It's just a trilogy?
Yeah.
So there's like room to grow still, and there's like, we know where the City of Brass is. We know what the City of Brass is. We have theories for what the Kingdom of Copper is, but we don't know what it is yet.
We saw a copper boat.
Yeah, we saw a copper boat going to an island, but we never got there.
Yeah.
Another island. There's 2 islands in this lake.
It's a very large lake. Or very small islands.
Well, Davidblad's on an island. And then I assume we're going to a different island when he's like...
Isn't it? I guess I just thought it was across to, like... I always envisioned a small riverbed.
No, because they're in the...
They had to take boats to it. You're right.
Yeah. It seemed like they were going to another island.
I just felt like it wasn't. I just felt like it was a river. Not like not like an island, but like just to cross the river onto another large field of dirt.
But they're on a lake.
I'm not disputing. I'm merely saying that's how I envisioned it for some reason.
I mean, this island in the lake also has like a canal that
but see,
you can go swimming
it's
in.
It's not an island.
But they said it's an island on the lake.
Well, maybe there's just.
And whenever they go underground, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're under the lake. Oh, the cursed lake."
Well, maybe the lake is just there, but it's not an island.
Maybe it's not shown on the map.
Maybe it's not depicted on the map, and there's more water over here.
There's a map in Kingdom of Copper too.
So, we really enjoyed this. Needless to say,
We did.
Do you have any last, aside from your island, thoughts? Which are, again, not necessarily disputing.
Do you have any more thoughts? I really want to read the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see where it goes because you kind of leave off in a place of like, well, everyone's kind of in a rough spot.
Everyone's in a rough spot.
And
Yeah.
I want to see how it works out. I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better because I feel like the second book in a trilogy, it's kind of like where it ends, like the dark before dawn.
I agree. Yeah.
And then, so it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
I think it's going to get substantially worse somehow. Oh, do we want to talk about the king? What did you think of the king?
That like multiple characters have this like idealism about them, and that like we could admire that, but then their king is like very pragmatic, and that like your idealism is just gonna get you killed. Even Nadi's like, I need to be pragmatic about this. Like I need to side with the ruling family because that's what's gonna keep me alive. So I feel like there's like overtones of like being pragmatic is the way you should be, or at least that's what the book wants us to think. Or at least maybe agree with him for that stance. At least maybe like forgive him for being so cold and pragmatic. But he's kind of a jerk.
He's kind of a jerk, but I think
he is
that...
a jerk. Not even kind of. He is.
Agreed. He is a jerk. And I kind of felt like that whole pragmatism is kind of the way the king wants to be seen. Like, he wants everyone to be like, oh, you have all the answers.
Yeah. Or it's like, oh, you're like, we should feel sorry for you. Look how hard it is to hold the city together.
Right. And you're just doing such a great job. He's not, but I think that's his attitude.
Yeah. So I don't really like him.
Right, because the whole city pretty much is rebelling by the end of the book. Yeah, it was an intense end. It was good.
Yeah, like those last, like 40 pages, last 50 pages.
Intense.
It's intense. Yeah.
Really just commit about halfway that you're going to just sit and finish it.
Yeah.
All right, so we highly recommend this. We liked it a lot. Sorry we spoiled a lot. Hopefully you tuned out for that part.
Yeah, or maybe you're just even more intrigued now.
Right, that's true. What are you reading?
All right, I'm still reading The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Perry.
Still good?
Still good. I read a little bit further because I'm like, I'm going to read 2 500-page fantasy novels in 1 week.
That's intense.
It is a bit intense. So I made more progress in it. I'm still liking it. There's a new wrinkle in the magic system, which I'm not going to say it because other people might want to read it, and I encourage you to read it.
I do actually want to read that one, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So there's like a new wrinkle that kind of makes the brothers' problems with fictional characters a little more difficult. But yeah, it's still really good.
Good. Yeah, that one looks good. And it's long, so it's going to take a while.
Yeah, the audiobook is like 16 hours. And I've been listening to audiobooks through Libro FM. And they're really great. And the app is super easy to use.
Yeah, I like they're easy, friendly.
Which, like, that, like, ranks pretty high of what I need it to do.
I agree.
What are you reading?
I actually started The Kingdom of Copper.
Oh, and?
Well, nothing I said has been revealed.
Okay.
Like, none of the things I've hypothesized have been revealed, so I didn't, like, spoil anything.
Okay.
I'm liking it. You literally pick up right where the first book ends, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Everyone is not happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still obviously don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's going to have more magical powers or what that's going to entail. I don't know about Dara, so I need to get going.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious now, because book 1 was so good. So yeah, I picked this up. It's good. It's big.
Yeah.
I don't know how much to say because I literally read the prologue and that's it so far.
But you have high standards for prologues.
Yes. This prologue so far did not bother me. It does switch viewpoints, but it doesn't jump time. So it's several different character viewpoints. It is 26 pages though, which is a long prologue. That's almost an excessive prologue. That's like chapter 1.
Or like a preface.
Yeah, so that's my only real big critique was it was really long. Plus you don't normally... Nope, okay, I have 2. You don't normally switch viewpoints. And I did find that bizarre. So it was an intense prologue. And it was weird. I'll see if it's a real prologue. Like, I'm not sure how long of a gap there'll be from that in chapter 1, or if really this should have just been chapter 1.
Chapter 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go, chapter 0. New thing. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited. That'll be fun.
Cool.
Shall we mention what we're reading next time?
What we're reading next week?
Yes, we're going to read If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio.
I follow her on Tumblr.
Oh, is she good?
Yeah.
Nice. We're excited for this one because it's kind of going to be more of a psychological thriller.
And it has Shakespeare in it.
And it has Shakespeare in it. We are a bunch of book nerds. Yeah. And we are okay with that. So yes, you can get copies from us at Mostly Books or mostlyBooksAZ.com if you'd like to read it in advance and not have us spoil it for you, which we totally understand. Yeah, so this should be really good. It'll be really different from our
be very different.
High fantasy.
This one's like realism, dark academia, psychological, which I think you said.
Psychological mystery, yeah.
So yeah, very different from what we just read.
Mm-hmm. Keeping it interesting. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's the end.
I think we're good.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.